afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovative, and amazing Propagandacast. I'm your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero like defender of the fatherland. Off here to a 1v1 on, you guessed it, it is Milo Road in north of Stuve, fighting for the Oberkommand West Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the... What do you think we should go for here, Basil? What do you think? Basil has declared the 20th Panzer Division. Here the Luftwaffe ground forces backing up the 20th here with a Fallschirmjäger regiment. We got heavy fortifications, smoke bombs, Fallschirmjägers, Valiant Assault, and the airborne assault on the south. It is Markov fighting for the Red Army of the Soviet Union. Comrade Stalin taking on the role of... What does Basil think? What do you think, Basil? Basil has declared the 4th Guards Tank Corps with Guard Rifle, Airborne Troops, and Guard Motor. Volkswagen Kuhwagen there for Stuve. Dominier's Dolkons there for Markov. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons, supporters, keep making the Propagandacast possible. Big thanks to all those people. Wonderful champions of the Propagandacast, one and all. So, with that little message out of the way, let's focus on the fight here. Contrast towards against the Kuhwagen here. As Stuve advances, Kuhwagen then pushing back the conscripts just a bit there. Obviously here what Markov might be concerned about is there's actually something behind the Kuhwagen. And so obviously perhaps he figures, maybe I should take, a few moments to figure this out, and then he just charges in anyways. Up north here, folks moving in here as well, quickly occupying this shed. Kuhwagen making southwards here. Sturm Pioneer cutting up with the Kuhwagen living here. Some of Markov's Southern Forces unit exposing there goes Stuve. Here goes straight for the car point. Perhaps this is actually the sort of possibility Markov was actually concerned about, that, if he tries to, go for the Kuhwagen in some way actually evade him and just, start doing naughty things to him. It's hard to say here. Meanwhile, got a third conscript there for Markov. All we know it's looking like either Guard Rifle or Guard Motor here. There's a Stuve. Sturm Pioneer Kuhwagen backing off here. Conscript pushing in here hard. Markov there sensing an opportunity to deliver a critical blow here to Stuve. Charges in with his infantry up north, though. Meanwhile, Stuve's Volksgrenadier advancing steadily here, as things are getting a bit spicy here in the south between Stuve and Markov. Sturm Pioneer repositioning a bit here. Engineers constantly holding up as well. Got a third Volksgrenadier squad there for Stuve, heading for the western fuel point there. Basically again outmaneuvering here Markov, and perhaps again leads to that nightmare scenario he was perhaps worrying about all along. I don't know. That said, the Volksgrenadiers are being slowed surrounded here by Markov in response here. So Stuve has managed to maneuver himself into not one but two fairly awkward engagements where he doesn't really have the upper hand. That's a bit impressive in a way. Truck out there for Stuve. Also got a third Volksgrenadier ready, plus, of course, that truck there. So, starting to make up for some of those early lack of troops. Got flamethrowers for Markov's infantry. Fuel point lost here, but while also failing to get in the western fuel point again. Not the most sterling start here for Stuve and the German army. Southeast, conscript pushed back. Continues pushing forward here. Sturm Pioneer, and there go Volkswagen now could catch here. Markov now in a more awkward position here. Engineers in particular are very low health here, so yeah. Here Markov makes the only sensible decision, which is just to retreat. In particular the Engineers, because again they're at a high risk of getting wiped out here. Conscript will keep fighting a bit here, probably just to ensure Stuve does not pursue the Engineers and murder them indiscriminately. Up north here meanwhile, Volkswagen push back. The engagement just didn't work out there for Stuve particularly well. Truck ready here for Stuve and the German army. The Schwer Wehrmacht Schlepper, or Heavy Wehrmacht Hauler. Grabbing the some fuel pump back there for Deutschland. Will it be Belgium headquarters? Will it be mechanized here from Stuve? As for Markov, we do get the support company here. So the way that Stuve is sitting outside of his base definitely has me thinking more mechanized than Belgium headquarters, but Stuve here could surprise us. Grab the southern point here with the Kugelwagen. Got 486 was 486. There you go. It does end up being a mechanized rating here for Stuve. Engineers with a bit of barbed wire close to the centre, looking to deny cover there to Stuve and the German army, the 20th Panzer Division. South Kugelwagen advancing, Volkswagen sitting out there. Northeast city advances as well from Stuve's infantry. Mechanized rating headquarters there getting ready. Engineers almost hauled out of existence there. Slow push here in the south from Markov. Stuve, the smaller force up north, got minesweepers out here. Probably in part also have cut wire, but also in case Markov has been mining, Stuve will be ready. In this case, it does appear like Markov has not actually been mining at all. At least he's only been mining a very little. Stuve can now call in Fallschirmjäger versus Markov. Grabbing the Western Field Pioneer, contracting at them there though. Kugelwagen rushing in here straight into the flamethrower team there. That's great there for the Kugelwagen. Pulling back here from the Western Fuel Point. Could I suppose try to lay down March while he's added. He can call in a Fallschirmjäger squad now. Not like he can call in immediately anything from the Lux, say like a Lux or Puma in part, because again he lost that Eastern Fuel Point while not getting the Western one. In fact, what appears to is about to lose the Eastern Fuel Point to Markov here again, as the Red Army once more advances on Stuve's front line here, mercilessly. See the same push on the west, there you go, Stuve calls in a Fallschirmjäger squad here. He's being pushed back here with the Sturmpioner, Kugelwagen, the Convoy pushed back by the Fultkamdies. But where will he drop the Fallschirmjägers? Clearly not on the Eastern Fuel Point, that's for sure. Perhaps the base, perhaps he's dropping his opponent's car point, perhaps in the center. And in fact, it is on the opponent's car point here, an aggressive drop here by Stuve. So there you go, a full 4 Fallschirmjägers with a mix of K90Ks and the FD42. Driving the Eastern Fuel Point there. Sticking in now by the Western Fuel Point, and there you go, Markov does go for Guard Rifle here with the KV-1 heavy tank, Guard Rifle infantry. Advanced fortifications, howitzers, and of course the Sturmovik strafing line. We also got a T-7 here for Markov. That's going to add further complications and problems here for soon. In fact, it's going to be a fairly fast T-7 here versus Stuve, who currently has no anti-tank weapons. Doesn't even have a Panzer ship. We got the Fallschirmjäger around the car point, so Stuve clearly looking to take advantage of the car point and use it against Markov with these Fallschirmjägers. You've also got the looks here. That said, it's long build time. Does mean that by the time the T-7 arrives, can of course cancel, just go for a Puma more easily. And the Puma does not have a massive build time. So that will obviously be a great way to slap down the T-7, and then maybe he'll go for looks after that he wants to. We got mines here though from Stuve. And of course if he goes for the Puma, he won't really need a Raketen for Panzerschrecks as bad, at least to start with. So there you go. T-70 light tank out here for Markov and the Red Army. 4th Guards tank Korf, Fallschirmjäger training in the face of the advancing T-70 light tank here. Yup, as you can see there, as soon as he saw the T-70, Stuve immediately cancels the looks and goes to the Puma, aka the 234-2, which was really also the only version of those series of armored cars known as the Puma. Like, people commonly call all types of that armored car for the Puma. There's really only the 234-2 with the 50mm gun that was known as the Puma. Fun fact. So Fallschirmjäger setting up their Sturmpioner. Also got to go here, Puma right around the corner here for Stuve. Note, the Puma's also really only produced in small numbers compared to the other variants, like the initial with the autocannon, but also, you know, the 234-3 with a 75mm cannon, low velocity, or the version 234-4 with the 75mm Pak 40 mounted on it. Fun fact. Troops heading southwards here rapidly for Stuve. Wrecking sandbags there. Markov retaining excellent map control versus Stuve for now. Of course, the Puma backed up by Fallschirmjägers and other fun stuff there, of course, could prove to be a tool here for Stuve to rest control the map here from Markov and the Red Army. There you go, Counter Court laying down sandbags, Puma racing forward with its 8 wheels. Going straight here for the T-70, obviously, straight into a mine there as well. Decent hit, but there you go, field gun ready here to blast through Stuve's Puma. Good shot on the T-70, a few more hits, and that T-70 will go down in flames. You also have now grenades on the way. They didn't have them ready in time. Will Stuve push into the base here? He will not. And we got Stuve here with a second Fallschirmjäger squad here, really looking to leverage his now more aggressive vehicle play here versus Markov for an even more aggressive opening here, or built order here. So that's 2 Fallschirmjäger squads and a Puma. That could apply some significant pressure here to Markov then, with so many Fallschirmjägers plus a Puma. Said, of course, this would really benefit him if we can actually control the fuel points, you know, more consistently. There you go, smoke screen deployed. Field gun there, pushing back the Puma. Let's push back here. Note the 234 series is just a further development of the 232 series of armored cars, you know, from companies V. The Achtrad, for example, in that sense, was the predecessor. Fun fact there. And there's also the 233, which was basically just, the pretense 234-3. It's a little fun fest. They almost got the T-70 again. Markov's T-70 dodging the Puma's 50mm gun just enough to survive. Obviously not every shot, but just that one last shot apparently. Falchi makes it in with a conscript with FT-42s and Kar 9 TKs, rapidly dispersing the Soviet troops. Grab the points here and there. Eastern points east. Got another truck there for Stuve. That'll be the Schwerer Panzer quarters most likely. It could also be a battle headquarters, I suppose, but I think with that many Fallschirmjägers, part of me figures he's just going to try and push for more upgrades for them, so that way he can further, give them more firepower to smash at Markov's infantry, where they does have a guard rifle squad out there, getting the DP-27 light machine guns. Smoke deployed here to mess with the field gun and the infantry, trying, prevent them from firing at, further off distances and push them closer into, the effective ranges of, say, Stuve's Fallschirmjägers, which is not actually a bad idea. There go bomb grenade as well, of course, also more effectively into the bomb grenade range as well, as that was, in some way, kind of devious play there by Stuve, which you typically don't see. That said, his Puma, despite everything, does take a lot of damage here from Markov and is forced to withdraw here, or risk total and utter annihilation at the hands of Markov. We do also see Stuve, despite, fairly decent pin on the car point, is finally forced off here. He just did not have the forces to withstand such a push here by Markov. Nor did he actually really feel like get as much map control as he could in the meanwhile. But there you go, Schwerer Panzer goes for Stuve, whom now hold back for some most needed repairs. Mines going off in the south here, killing a few more conscripts, slowing down Markov's advance. Thumbs up there. Another fun fact about the Puma itself, it was basically the result of a scrap reconnaissance tank project known as the Leopard. Basically, they developed the turret and the gun, but, kind of not much else, and so they just figured, what, this actually works on the 234 armored car chassis, and so they mounted on them. And they decided not to make any more of it. Go figure. Which apparently had something to do with the German High Command being concerned that it would make the armored car crews too confident, too bold, if they had a turret with a really good gun in it. So, there's a little bit of fun history there. North here, points being grabbed there. Fallschirmjägers can also soon then be upgraded there with additional FT-42s. Can of course start authorizing the Schwerer Panzer quarters. Comes to that route here in the face of a large amount of German troops there with a fair amount of firepower. Got 434 versus 382. Stuve does maintain a good lead here over Markov. You got Markov with a max machine gun away there to help deal with all of Stuve's infantry. I mean, he does have a fair amount of infantry, a total 6 squads. That's certainly a bit of a challenge here for Markov's forces to deal with. In particular, the Fallschirmjägers. In particular, they say get upgraded with additional FT-42s. That could become a particular headache for Markov. Extra forcing healing. Mine goes off here. Kuhwagen narrowly surviving the encounter with the mine here up north. Sturmpioneer versus the T-70 light tank here. North here, better skirmishing the folks on the conscripts. Vessel going meow. In the centre, bit of skirmishing their folks being pushed back here. Simply too much firepower being delivered here from Markov, but not enough support for them. No machine guns, no Kednev, of course, just the Puma only arriving here. Good hits on the T-70 again. Not quite enough to really finish it off here. Markov at this point over the guards and have more tools than ever to make it difficult for Stuve to just rush in the Puma after the T-70 to finish it off here. So we will need something a bit bigger. Max Mill against the Fallschirmjägers there. Getting some more FT-42s out from them for a total of 4. Push back there. North here, Ponces for the conscripts and the engineers. No authorization still, just flooding manpower. I mean, he could go for the Kednevs, he'd go for an MD-34 here. He did get the T-70 here, and it looks like Markov did underestimate Stuve. It just got too confident lying here. Stuve's Puma take it out, and he actually goes for a second T-70, which is an interesting choice for Markov. I think in most cases, they go for the mechanized armor company, get the 7 upgrade going, but also start pushing for heavier armor here. But Markov, interestingly enough, at the 40-minute mark versus the Oberkommanders, decides he wants another T-70. And Stuve, meanwhile, decides he wants a third Fallschirmjäger sword. That is also a bit unusual. It's also a fair bit unusual. Not something you typically see out of most, well, Oberkommandeurs players at all. That was definitely a bit of an odd one there. I mean, it does mean he does have a fair amount of elite assault infantry, which could give Markov a really bad time if Stuve handles it well. Of course, if he doesn't, it's going to be a significant drain on his resources in terms of manpower, so hopefully Stuve knows what he's doing. Or in the case of Markov, he's probably hoping Stuve does know what he's doing with it. Praying for it, most likely. Fight makes right about the T-70 light tank here, number 2. Got the point here, could advance on the fuel point if you're feeling a bit confident here. North, their points being seized in the center. We've got Fallschirmjäger here as the guardsmen here. They are quick around here, unable to match the sheer tenacity, skill, or firepower of an Fallschirmjäger squad equipped with 4 FT-42s. T-70 rushing northwards here, going for that fuel point here, but we do again have the T-70 nearby. Of course, Stuve's got the Puma nearby as well, so the T-70 will have to withdraw or risk total annihilation, even then it theoretically could still risk it. But probably not for a biscuit. Fallschirmjäger squad needs to retreat. Boom, and they're falling back, and the center got the Fallschirmjäger with the conscripts again. Not a great engagement at all for Markov's infantry, in particular not conscripts, unable to in any way match the Fallschirmjägers. They are quickly forced to withdraw. South, you've got the Kuban creeping forwards. Have to see what Markov's follow up with next here versus Stuve. Stuve might soon be able to go for a Panther 4 in the near future. Kuban is about to get pummeled with an anti-tank grenade. Interesting enough, the Fulters holding up a shed there. Far up north, you got Fulters the conscripts. A lot of engagements here across the map. Big 2 points while Stuve has a small lead here still over Markov, though it is not quite as big as it used to be. Fallschirmjägers there at Seredi. Could maybe lay down some medical supplies to heal them up. So Stuve there, ever closer to a Panther 4. Instead we got the Fallschirmjäger squad continue to maintain the line here for Deutschland. Maximum over Markov. Got the T-70 going for the Fallschirmjägers up north there. Good shot. Fallschirmjägers push back, and the center Fallschirmjägers forced to withdraw as well here in the phase of the Maxim. Just too much firepower, and they can't reach back there. But the FT-42's that range. Stuve ever closer to that Panzer 4. Puma meanwhile good to go again. Veteran C2. They're going to check out the Max rushing to the Fallschirmjägers here. Ruined, and they are east force retreat. We do get the Puma sneaking a few shots here again. Another great shot there. Veteran 2. It doesn't quite get a bonus to damage. That's actually, I believe, Veteran 3, but Veteran 2 still gets more rate of fire and accuracy. And they're going to south. Max being swarmed. Bit too bunched up here, makes it easy here for the Maxim to hold down here. Stuve's Fallschirmjäger assault. He's got a fair amount of manpower, clearly setting up for a Panther 4, maybe something bigger, I don't know. Honestly, I think a Panther 4 would serve him fairly well here versus Markov right now. Markov, meanwhile, still would benefit from take up here versus Stuve, but retains so far the ability to not go there. Kuban now thinks going to go down. It's going to get absolutely pelted down with anti-tank grenades and insults. Very little health left here in the Kuban, I think, is going to combust here in the next few seconds. There you go. Kaput. Great kill there for Markov. And there you go. We do get a Panther 4 multi here for Stuve and the German army. But map control remains very much firmly in Markov's hands. Despite, arguably a lot of assault infantry, Stuve is not quite able to leverage them so far efficiently enough to really help with map control versus Markov. Definitely something I think Stuve might want to look into, I suppose. Though, of course, the Panther 4 should help out a lot because Markov's really only got a single squad of guardsmen and a field gun. So unless Stuve messes up there, he should have then, with all the infantry, a good chance to gain map control here versus Markov. North here, points being grabbed. Puma setting out here. Half-way to Veteran 3 there, and the damage bonus. Fight the T-70 already now. You should probably wait with that until the Panther 4 is ready, at which point you can use the Puma as bait to draw the attention away from a frontal assault with the Panther 4. At which point things get very awkward here. But he said he's just going to recharge you in the Puma, cause chaos havoc anyway. Smoke being deployed here to further cause consternation. That's actually a pretty decent push here from Stuve. T-72 down here. Engineer's about to get utterly annihilated. Suppressor fire from the Maxim stops some of Stuve's forces, but he's still got 3 Fallschirmjäger squad charging, and that's it. The Veteran 3-1 should be withdrawn here. I mean, one mine here could cost Stuve his Veteran 3 Fallschirmjäger squad, and that would be really bad for Stuve. I mean, that'd be, again, like a very expensive unit with good experience. They're just completely down the toilet. That would be absolutely no good for Stuve, but absolutely bloody amazing for Markov if Stuve were to make such a mistake there. So I definitely think it's a mistake if Stuve's using the grab point here at the front line. He should just retreat them at this point, honestly. Just not risk it at all. It's just too valuable to risk it, that one. Panther 4 mod gear does arrive here with the 20th Panzer Division. Another trot there for Stuve. That'll be the battlefield headquarters for a bit of healing there. Makes sense. Theoretically, it could also mean he's setting up for King Tiger down the road. We'll have to see what he actually does. Bag of base here for Markov. Not much else going there. Got northern point, grab the knees. Volks grabbing the western point there. Got Fian 64, so Fian 32. Need more medical supplies here as he waits for the Belgrade headquarters. Sending out with his large Fallschirmjäger force here. Getting a total of 3 squads. They're not all full reinforced there. Stuve clearly a bit too quick to move out there. Doesn't get all the Fallschirmjäger squads at full strength. That's definitely a bit inefficient, in particular on the veteran 3 Fallschirmjäger squads. You really want like all of them there, because again they get some very nice bonuses offensively from veteran 3. Stuve clearly has other priorities. Advance in the center, advance in the south, but larger push up north here from Stuve against Markov. And I'm flanking on that Maxim here, and there you go. Markov sensing this is quick to withdraw, at least the Maxim. Gas from the acting as a blocking detachment here to buy time. Furthers his forces to bring into position to halt this maniacal infantry assault here from Stuve. It does seem to work out fairly well. Still no mechanized armor coming in from Markov. Bit surprised at that. Belgrade headquarters up here for Stuve, and can of course go for medics easily. If he does go for this, that definitely indicates he's going to probably try and push for the King Tiger. We'll have to see what Stuve's game plan there is. Will he be planning a King Tiger? Will be other things here. Fallschirmjägers versus conscripts. Conscripts definitely not favor this, though of course in this case it helps them heavy cover. And Stuve's Fallschirmjägers, crucially, are not even in light cover. And of course, crucially again, also not reinforced. He almost lost his veteran 3 Fallschirmjäger squad, which you get out stress would be a complete and utter bloody waste. So, Marco, there you go, finally taking up. They could have that up fairly bit sooner here versus Stuve. Center Maximum saying that's the Volks going to need to withdraw them. Up north here, fresh push here by Stuve and the German army. The 20th Panzer Division storming here in the northern positions of Markov. There you go, Puma charges in way too far. Double field and splattering tank grenades could very well spell the end of the Puma here. But no, seems like due to the smoke here, most of Markov's field and crews can't hit. And there you go, Fighting Squad goes down to the mine. Stuve there definitely needs to be more mindful of mines by now. Got the Maxim in the center. If you get his hands on that, be very helpful for Stuve. And again, crucially, the one that got wiped was one of those Fighting Squads that were not fully reinforced. So yeah, definitely got a bit punished for that in that sense. As for Markov, we can finally see the outputs there for the conscripts with the mobilized reserves. Other fighting squad could also benefited from being upgraded here for Stuve. At least now the Veteran 3-1 is fully upgraded, fully reinforced, and fully healed, and close to Veteran 4, and of course Veteran 5. In the years with conscript support pushing against the fighting, they need to retreat. They are absolutely no condition to withstand such a assault there from Markov and the Red Army. Panther 4 setting again here for Stuve and the German armies. Reich. So far, no sign of any Belgrade upgrades there. And Stuve, in a bit of a rare sign, actually calls in another Fallschirmjäger squad. I mean, typically you won't see an Oberst Commandos players like commit to 3 Fallschirmjäger squads in the first place, but they will also typically be very reluctant to replace them with more Fallschirmjägers. Like, they suffer losses this late into the match, they will typically replace them with Obersoldaten and the MU-34s, but Stuve seems pretty committed to the Fallschirmjägers, but you know, you have to commend them on. There's obviously a bit more risk associated with the Fallschirmjägers, but in the right hands they can be quite potent and devastating, as they do pack a lot of DPS fully upgraded and can really rip through enemy infantry and support weapons when employed correctly. There's any sense there that Stuve is definitely trying his best, even there's clearly some issues with his Fallschirmjäger tactics. Do have to start somewhere. Meanwhile, Markov finally bringing a heavy tank. Our tank in the first place is the KV-1 heavy tank, the Clement Borishlav 1. Which we'll later see the KV-85. Which is basically a KV gun with the same... or KV tank with the same gun as the T-35 and a more armoured turret, though eventually would make way for the IS series. Starting with the IS-1 or IS-85. And of course the IS-2. Sandbags on the south here. North here got the Fallschirmjägers playing around the conscript squad here. Not shabby. Of course could do with some support here. Puma could actually do the trick. He just blast the sandbags away, which point the Fallschirmjägers would easily have the upper hand against the conscripts. K1 almost done. There we go. Sandbags destroyed. The conscripts are now deeply exposed against the Fallschirmjägers. Also achieve veterancy too. Maximum routed here by the veterancy now 4 Fallschirmjägers. Leaving just veterancy 5 to go and a nice first strike bonus. A bigger one in the south. You got the Sturmpine routed here. The conscripts actually using S-mines. That's a pretty rare sight. Like most Oberkorps players, they go for the stuff like this, actually don't make use of the heavy fortifications ability. And so not the S-mines. So thumbs up the Stuve tank to make use of that ability. North New York Guardsman, K1 maximum in here. Fighting squad, they're definitely not in a position to hold the line. And there goes Stuve this time. Much more time withdraws his men. Deploying smoke as well to increase his chances here, but also maybe to theoretically set up for a counterattack here. Maybe not. Being caught by the Fallschirmjägers, you can see their veterancy 4. They are, of course, just veterancy 4 would be the same, but it's still ripping through the field group with some good ease here. Jagdpanzer on the other for Stuve in response to the KV-1. Not a bad idea at all here. Flamethrower engineers charging at the Fallschirmjägers here. Panther 4 moving up, shooting, and there, almost wiping out the entire engineer unit. Down they go. Great kill. Fallschirmjäger squad, they're getting ace, but they also almost, well, gain a posthumous and cross there. Down to a single man there. That was a hell of a shot there from Markov there. Jagdpanzer's almost done there for Stuve and the 20th Panzer to be sure. There we go. Lots of reinforcement healing. Jagdpanzer almost done. K1 moving up the center. In the south here, more S-mounts going off here. Cancels the Jagdpanzer. We see, yup, Stuve has decided upon the King Tiger, the Königstiger. The Tiger 2. Or Tiger Bean. How do they have a lot of names like that? So, Puma there's close to veterancy 3. Interesting enough, it hasn't yet to get there, actually, when you think about it. Like, it's been out on the field for some time, but really hasn't hit veterancy 3 there. And the damage bonus. Handful going for the KV-1 there. Shoots, misses. And the center of the being held up by the maximum of the conscripts. Shot bounced there from the Panther 4 up north here. We've got the Fulton being held up here by the maximum in the shed. And farther up north, Guard Squad dug in. There also poses a problem there for Stuve. Panther 4 here, there's the K1 Puma joining in there with its 1500 gun. Shot bounces, unsurprisingly. Troops reinforcing healing here for Stuve. His Fallschirmjäger is almost good to go. Consequence, the Fulton is Molotov off here. K1 joining in. Fulton around it. Panther almost fixed up. Puma almost fixed up as well here. Yeah, the current rate is going to get a bit tough if it's Stuve to hold up for the King Tiger versus Markov. And they get a bit tough. Up north here, folks, the Guard Squad here. Ooh, we got Valiant Assault launching up a pretty large assault here from Stuve. Not think that's a bad idea, though. I think the timing could perhaps have been a bit better, but at the same time, of course, he can also just move up faster. So the timing, in some regards, as long as it's not like he's just sitting about doing nothing for hours, like doesn't necessarily set him up too bad, though. He may want to make sure that enough smoke to deploy, enough ammunition to deploy a smoke stream, because, I mean, Markov has multiple machine guns, there's also mines, so there's a good chance of the assault as it is just, you know, runs afoul here of anything from Markov, and then it goes nowhere. And that's sort of basically what happened here, because just ahead of like smoke crucial to them and like armor support for it either. So while I do like the idea, and I do actually think it is great to see Valiant Assault utilized, I think there were too many factors that could go wrong here for Stuve to really make it worthwhile there. But at least at the same time he made the attempt. Again, I do think that's crucial. And cast a grenade here, feeling in trouble. Got one on the white. If you can clear out the other one, then rush in the Puma maybe to help destroy them. That could actually work out for Stuve there. If you can remove the field guns right now from the game here, that would actually be a big advantage for Stuve, because typically versus the Soviets, the main threat a lot of the time is actually just these two field guns they'll usually get. So there you go. Markov, of course, quick to replace them and crew them, because again, if he loses them, Markov's actually in a really, really bad place. So yeah, that's definitely a bit of a miss there for Stuve. Bit of a miss then. Probably should have kept some infantry in reserve for this sort of moment here, rather than committing more to the north here as well. Nice when they're getting flanked by the Fallschirmjägers. Closing in the King Tiger meanwhile. The Fallschirmjägers pushing forwards there. Half 8 to veterans E3. Here one, they're going for the Fallschirmjägers. Panther 4 Puma being fixed up here for Stuve. Fallschirmjägers reinforcing. Troop push towards the center. The south, we also got some Fallschirmjägers moving ahead at the ace level of that one. At that, interesting. Committing is mostly infantry to such a mission. I mean, theoretically, it does kind of make sense. Like, they're gonna be able to handle a lot of individual squads on their own. Even in some cases, off against 2 squad pushes there. But in this case, Markov, due to Stuve going off pretty boldly there, of course, he's just going to send in all of his spare forces to deal with this. So we'll have to see how that works out for him. He's going to need to send a Panther 4 down to support them soon, or he's going to have to treat them very fast. There you go. Big ambush. They immediately dropping there, Yevgeny. And Boris, they may fall off there soon. No, the Fallschirmjägers fire pack scatters off pretty quickly after that. And so the consequence, while they do take a lot of damage, crucially doesn't take a lot of damage in like individual models, really just, limit the firepower. Plus, of course, there's just so many other troops backing up that Stuve is forced to retreat his Fallschirmjägers there. But had Markov not sent all of those forces, the Fallschirmjägers probably been able to hold out though. Grab Northern Point again, will be running to the maximum there once more. Puma's actually achieved Veteran 4 finally here for Stuve. I mean, typically when you hit Veteran 3, Veteran 4 and 5 typically follow up very quickly after that. HD5 here for Markov. Constantly charging in the HD5 from Markov. Go, flanked in there. Stuve, though, definitely has to fuel now for the King Tiger. It's just a matter of manpower. So Markov, the tank is still slowly getting ready. I imagine at this point, of course, Markov's got a pretty clear idea what Stuve's planning, and he hasn't seen anything besides that one Panther 4 for some time. So, typically it's safe to assume a King Tiger at that stage. 32 Fallschirmjägers also now fully upgraded as the guard squad there. So they are scattering their fire a bit, which is great here for Markov's guardsmen. Forced to retreat there. Not too big a surprise. And there you go. Koenigsegg is ready here for Stuve. And the 20th Panzer Division. Panther 4 they're holding back. Got the ace Fallschirmjägers heading southwards. Adding the pale amount of energy there on top of the King Tiger. Very good upgrade there, of course. Got the usual 5 tanks right here for Markov. Moving ahead with the HD5 here, steadily for the Red Army. Getting their Puma with its 85mm gun, good shot there. Centerfold's being held up with the maximum, the conscripts. Koenigsegg setting out here. Shoots whiffs. Panther 4 holding back here for Stuve for now. Enforcing healing, Puma being fixed up. North here, point grab with the full Scanadira. Koenigsegg going for a pretty aggressive southern route here. Straight into the field guns. There you go, H5 shoots, field gun shoots, King Tiger response. Misses though pretty dramatically and awkwardly there, forcing back the King Tiger, heavily damaged without having done Well, anything significant to Markov will raise us down to half health there, and again has just done nothing and return there to Markov. So not really getting a great start there for the King Tiger, quite the opposite. We got the Fulters hiding out there north, hoping for Markov to send some troops to deal with it, but apparently Markov just figures, you know what, I'm just going to keep the unit all the way time up there. I'm probably just going to allow him to do that, because again, that's a unit that's not harassing him. No, apparently they're both now moving, and that means the Fulters actually caught with the Guardsmen first here. South here, fighting continues. King Tiger being sent forwards again here. Infantry could rush in. Oh, he's got one of the field and crews cleared out here. And he's absolutely going to take this opportunity to destroy the field gun before Markov can recruit. That makes a ton of sense. Now we got an attack here. Of course, shoots back his infantry. Got another Valiant Assault here. It's charging and needs to clear out the maximum first. Puma there going for the issue 5 here. Got the field gun destroyed. King Tiger was heavily damaged in the other field gun and the issue 5. And there he goes. Strafing gun forces Stuve to retreat his entire Valiant Assault maneuver there. Completely vanquished. Thwarted, brushed aside. And he's about to lose his ace full squad there. Good kill there from Markov and the Red Army. The Panther 4, though, I think should have backed up this assault. I think had the Panther 4 been added in, maybe like, you know, swung up through or something like that. I've just gone up through here. I think they've been worked out fairly well for Stuve, but alas, it did not happen. Which, of course, is very fortunate for Markov. In the south, he maximum forward straight into the Panther 4's waiting gun. And eventually, to it, of course, is more accurate, so that becomes a big effect to the Maxim's continued welfare. In the south, 5 Mega Ace is still added, 40 kills. Cover immediately destroyed, and of course, in the face of the K1, they should just retreat. Another field gun there for Markov. K1 rolling hit, 5 was scored, almost wiped out. Can't move up in the center, folks, there as well. That's, I think, another wipe. This time, though, it was the Ace Fallschirmjäger for Stuve. Again, his Vesny 5 fully upgraded Fallschirmjägers. Huge blow to Stuve, and that is a significant tactical win there for Markov. Removes a significant chess piece there from the battlefield here. And of course, at this point, Stuve basically was punished for like using them for stuff like that at this stage. So, like, using them to support his more major offensives, honestly. I mean, to some degree, again, it kind of makes sense, but after a certain point of time, you probably should expect your opponent to be ready for it, at which point you could get punished like Stuve did there. So now he's just lost, again, like an almost excellent source of DPS here versus a lot of Markov's crucial stuff there. He's also replaced the lost field gun. No big surprise. The Stuve here has definitely lost momentum. The King Tiger soldiers so far really hasn't paid off. I mean, 3 kills, not a lot of experience, and most of the time it's just been spent being repaired. It's just not been a great investment here for Stuve at all. Shot bounced even. Ugh. I mean, realistically speaking, a King Tiger would never bounce off a KB1, that's for sure. Of course, this is not reality. Anyways, kills with King Tiger there, goes several hits here, punching it down to half health. H5 gaining actually 2 here. King Tiger in our horrid state here for Stuve. Not looking great for him or for Germany. It's also a bit odd considering like the way the so far Stuve strategy has been very much focused. Like the King Tiger just doesn't feel like a great fit. He's been so far been like, you know, very fast, hard hitting, lot of firepower mobility, and the King Tiger just is not mobile at all. I mean, he could have probably gone for like several Panther 4s or some Yak Panthers again as he tried to early. Then it'd been a much better fit with the strategy. Definitely not been very optimal there for Stuve. At this point, part of me thinks maybe you want to consider like a Stukas of Fus, at least like anything like he, I think, needs some artillery to assist with this. Here versus Markov. The line guns would be ideal, but theoretically, if he can aim the Stukas of Fus, he could arguably make it work. Arguably. But I do think he needs some artillery no matter what here. At this stage versus Markov. So on the big bomb exists by Markov once more. Panther 4 rolling in there for Deutschland. 24 kills, 32. Nice shot from the Puma there for the rear of the KV1. He's low at that stage. Goes for another Panther 4 here. Another Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung J. For Deutschland. Meanwhile, there go. Few hits on the K1 there with an aimed shot, but the field guns are very much too big of a threat if the Puma, of course, keep remaining in possession. Fallschirmjäger hanging back here. Panzerforce getting ready for Stuve. Königsziege moving out again. South here, Panzerforce setting off in mine on the news here. Very good shot. Of course, the H5 ready to respond. King Tiger flanking that. We've got K1s in the field in the flank. That said, the shed here does provide some coverage for the King Tiger, so theoretically might be some hope here, though that only lasts so long until, of course, the H5 or field being brought into line as well here. Decent shot there, but crucially, again, there's not really a lot of support for the King Tiger, so it's just sort of like a big target on his own, rather than a big target amongst many other targets. And so it's much more easily pushed back. Does have the second Panther now, but now the problem is he needs to fix all of this up while he's been bleeding out in victory points. North here, Fallschirm trying to go for northern pump. The K1 remains a potent threat there to the infantry, and the goals there's a chance that like the east level Fallschirm squad, this veteran 3, almost 34 squad will get wiped here. And again, that would be very difficult for Stuve to afford. Maxim, of course, remaining a problem there for Stuve's infantry as well. King Tiger is almost good to go. Puma, of course, need repairs. Panther 4 need repairs. Panther 4 snipes some poor sort there.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
And an infrared half-track now, of all things of Stuve. Yes. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to achieve, but I mean, it could obviously provide with crucial reconnaissance and, of course, information to maybe like line up for a good assault, but we'll have to see. The Stuve is definitely with its back against the wall. It's going to be do or die very soon here for Stuve. Do or die. Panther 4, armored coming to position. Looks like we might be looking at a multiple-pronged assault here against Markov Center. Tactically, I think it's the right thing to do. The question, of course, is can Stuve manage this? That's going to be the tricky part, because you're going to have to manage getting an attack for multiple angles here. And that does require a fair amount of skill, in particular also get it all going at the right time. If he messes up, it just means some units are going to be exposed out in the open. For example, here the folks on the center of now just easy targets, and nothing else is happening. In particular, as you can see there now, Markov's already dealing with the northern push here as well there. So, again, it's a sort of risky thing there. I mean, typically you don't want to split up your forces into as many pieces here as Stuve did. 2, I think, was fine, but he's kind of split into 3, almost 4 pieces. And that definitely means the forces are much more easily dealt with. So, I think Stuve kind of didn't quite fully pull this off here. Got Band Assault being used. We got the Panther 10 from the south end to the field guns, but not enough support from the infantry. Gonna lose that Panther 4 here. King Tiger rushing in from the north now. Going for the K1. Other Panther 4 and Pumas there. Nowhere to be seen. The Pumas now going in. Got the H5 finally, but they did come on the lost Panther 4 here. And King Tiger hit a mine there. So yeah, already now we can see the situation for Stuve. It's already going somewhat aggressively pear-shaped here. And Markov's just bringing another tank, so it did get a conscript wipe. That's a small win there for Stuve. A very small win here. Will it be enough here versus Markov on the Red Army? Got the field being brought against Stuve's Königsziege here. The south, we got troops being for the southern victory point. We got 73 versus 248. The gap between Markov and Stuve has grown substantially here as of late, and Stuve is in a really bad position there. Then we got another K1 here for Markov instead. Interesting choice there. Got the Fallschirmjäger being hammered here with the K1 heavy tank here. Another K1 almost down there for Markov. King Tiger's almost got over for Stuve once more. 17 kills, half H52. Another Fallschirmjäger squad here for Stuve and Deutschland. He's dedicated to the Fallschirmjäger for sure. He is dedicated. That is commendable. Going southwards up north, got the Panther machine back to King Tiger. straight ahead. Good shot on the knees there.
The enemy is encroaching.
Where's that third one arriving? Okay, closer to his base here.
The enemy down to 50. Heavy 1.
48 points left here. Stuve charging in. K1 ready. Puma here going for the K1 side armor. King Tiger charging in. 42 versus 246 here. King Tiger mines again. KV1 there. Virtually free. Ace level force moving forward here. Panther 4. Puma firing into it. Fields being hauled to the front line. King Wu 1, number 2 moving in there. Max them being utterly mauled here by Stuve's mighty guns in the south here. Constant holding up, in effect pushing northwards against Stuve. We got 32 here versus 246 here. Markov contesting Stuve with the center victory point here, trying to wipe the Fulton DC. Panther 4 on top of the double field guns has achieved victory 3, but he's also now achieved a damaged engine and a very low health total here.
Forces are attempting.
Ace K1 being repaired, other K1 they're forgotten by Markov in the heat of battle here. Conscripts are being slaughtered by the Falcon Makers, but they're pushed back. The Ace Guard squads forming up a pretty strong bulwark there. Thunderwave falls into the hands of Stuve here. King Tiger moving forward again to the field guns here. Ace 1 in particular is going to be the main target here, but instead he focuses on the non-Ace one. We do get a concussor grenade here. Thumbs up, I guess. That's been actually fine for a bit there, so there you go, got it. But there you go, K1's flanking the Ace King Tiger, oh, the Ace King Tiger with the VC2 King Tiger. Penetrating from the film as well there. King Tiger now very low and healthy. Do we have the Puma in there? Need to get in close here to have a better chance here. Oh dear, and the King Tiger makes a wrong turn here. Gonna lose the King Tiger, possibly field recruit as well here. And there we go, exposed the rear to the field guns, and down the King Tiger goes. We've got 26 points left for Stuve. Almost got the field gun, the K1 there. Puma going for the Panda 4. Puma. It's a complete mess there for me as well, though. But no, K1 goes for the Puma. Panda 4 there is back here, being repaired with this. Yeah, Stuve surrenders. It is GG, game over. Either victory for Markov, a loss for Stuve. A pretty brutal fight there. Again, interesting shade there for Stuve, but I definitely feel like the King Tiger just wasn't a particularly good fit with it. And tactically, he just never felt like he's really able to leverage these function makers. I think something else was lacking to really make them, take off at times. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I've learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell enemies. And if you like what the Propagandacast does, wish to keep seeing it going, you can donate via PayPal, or you can pre-order comments free rather than in the comments. Use the code Stuve3G. It's written in and do get a small part of the sale. So that's another great way to support me and get the game. Otherwise, comment, like, share, subscribe. That helps with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you all and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.